All right, so Sal Jones back at it again.
Yes, sir.
So you got to make the lineup a few times. Talk about that.
I did. It was a great experience and it was a dream come true since I was 10 years old. Um, I've been here at Cornell for 5 years and it's been very bumpy road since then with COVID and injuries. But in my senior year, I've got to crack the lineup in two big events of the year, the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Invitational and the dual meet against Ohio State and Tampa. So those were two great experiences, even though I went 0-3 total in those two performances. But it happens and that's part of the game. But it was great to finally crack the lineup.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like you were excited to win that wrestle off you won.
Yeah, I was. At the Binghamton Open, that's usually like where what decides and who decides for themselves, the starter or like the backup or whatever. And me and my teammate had the same records, went through the same round. So coach couldn't make a decision based off of that. So he had us wrestle off um, the Friday before the Wisconsin dual meet. So it was kind of cool because it was just one mat in our facility set up for the dual meet, and it was like a real match, not during practice or anything. It was before practice. Um, Coach refed it, and all the teammates got to watch it. So it was like a cool experience.
Personally, I couldn't have done that.
Yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking, especially going up against your teammate who's also your friend. So um, it's like a bittersweet victory because like one, you can't celebrate, and two, it's like you don't really feel too proud of yourself beating your teammate first spot.
How was it like during practice right after? How was it?
It was good. I honestly didn't think I was going to practice after it, but I did anyways. And like I said, I was fired up internally, not really showing it. So I was really excited to practice it actually, and it was a good practice. I wrestled Ethan Fernandez after. Um, he's tough. He's a real good kid. Um, but yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about some of those injuries that you had.
Um, my first year here, I was a frog. Doing the gray shirt program, and I had tore my meniscus at the Binghamton Open. Um, And my the trainer told me just wait till you get into Cornell and then like get surgery and you'll be fine. It's just your meniscus. So I took like 4 months off of competition, but I still practiced and I came back for the Wilkes-Barre Open, the Rose Bowl of college wrestling is the name of the tournament. But I went 1-2 there, and I told my coach and trainer that I can't. My knee hurts too much. I could barely bend it, and then it started locking after that tournament too. So I got surgery like a month later maybe, and then after surgery, my knee was bigger than a softball and it was purple. I had a bruise coming down from my calf up to my thigh, and come to find out that my surgeon had popped my bursa sac and partially tore my MCL during surgery. And then I had a hematoma on top of the pop bursa sac, which is like a blood clot. So that's why my knee was so big. And a 4 to 6 week recovery turned into 4 to 6 months. So then I was sidelined for the season when I could have came back for like a tournament or two. And then um and then I just had like a little like bumps and bruises, aches and pains throughout the couple years. I had no injuries during COVID. The year code happened, and then the year we had no season. Ivy League had no season, and then last year I was the B guy behind Cole Handelvik, and he just had like a little problem making weight. And the Thursday before the team was leaving for South Beach duels, uh, my coach came up to me and said, "How's your weight? How you feeling? You're most likely going and wrestling this weekend at 141." so get ready. And then I was fired up. My dream would finally come true. And then the next day was match day, and I was wrestling my teammate, and our new head coach Mike has this I don't know the right word right now, but he puts it into our head, get bonus points, get bonus points. So I was winning 5-0 with riding time locked up. I like to keep score in my head during match day to see like the result after. And I was winning 6-0, I'm sorry, with riding time locked up. And wait, no. It was to the point where I could let him up and get a takedown and get a major off riding time, but I forget the score. And when I went to go shoot, something in my foot popped and I couldn't walk anymore. I couldn't move my foot at all. I couldn't move my ankle. And I crawled to my trainer because I couldn't walk. And he was looking at like he was trying to look at it. And one of the coaches, Frank Pirelli, had the same injury. And he just like he knew exactly what it was. I told him, Liz Frank. And then I had surgery the next week and I couldn't walk for 2 months. I was on crutches and a knee scooter. And then for another 2 months, I was in a boot and I had 6 screws and a plate in my foot. And then after 4 months, I had another surgery and I got the hardware taken out. But my surgeon before that, my doctor gave me a decision if I could leave the screws in and I never wrestle again, or I could get them taken out and I'll be able to wrestle again, but I'd need another 2 to 4 months recovery. And it took me about a week to make my decision. And I was leaning towards having like just keeping them in because I didn't want another surgery. And like I just figured next year I'm gonna get like I'm getting bigger anyways. I was reaching 160, 165 walking around. So I was like, there's no way I'm making 141. And if I do, Vince Cornell is there and 49 Yanni. So there's really no shot of me cracking the lineup. So like I was ready to pack my bags. And then Julian Ramirez, like one of my best friends, he kind of knocked some sense into me and told me stop being foolish and just finish your 1 year and see what happens. And I'm I became the backup for Jan, and I got to put the Cornell singlet on and represent them. So it was a long road, and then COVID also added on to that because it was very heartbreaking because we had a few seniors in the lineup in the 2019-2020 season. One of them was Chaz Tucker, who was a 2 seed undefeated, and another one was Noah Boffman, who was a multi-time qualifier, and he was on pace to do well at the tournament. And I remember a week or two before, it was after the EIWA tournament. I walk into Friedman with one of my teammates, and you could just sense the mood was not not what it should be or what it would be. And there's just like few guys crying, and we asked them what was going on, and they said that the tournament was canceled, and it was just heartbreaking because we didn't know if they were gonna have another year of eligibility, um, if there was going to be a season next year. So it was just heartbreaking to see those seniors go out in that way and not know what they have as options. But after that, we thought everything was well. Like we heard the NCAA was having a season and we thought we would be a part of it. And then the Ivy League came out and said, no, no Ivy League is going to participate in athletic competition this year. So that was rough. So I took a semester off. I took the spring semester off that year to save a year of eligibility, as well as many guys on the team. And then that next year is when I got the foot injury. So it's been a long road, but a very fun one. Well worth it. Wouldn't change it in any way.
Yeah, I feel that. Why is it called Liz Frank? Like,
Because the surgeon, the I did a lot of research because one, I'd never heard of that. Two, my trainer said that it was worse. Like he said it was comparable to an ACL, maybe worse than an ACL surgery. Um, and I was getting my surgery done where I had my knee done. And I was very skeptical because of the last time I had surgery there, it was botched and I had all these complications. So I did a lot of research on the surgeon and the injury and the surgeon who discovered the injury. Um, it was very common in war soldiers back in the day because of running. And so a little background, how I tore it is I was taking a shot and I planted off my back foot. And when I planted like this, my toes curled and that's when it popped. And um, soldiers in trenches and running all the time, theirs would tear. And a surgeon, I think he was French, his last name was Liz Frank, discovered it, discovered a surgery, and then that's how it came.
Okay. But dang, that just just like I
I
couldn't
had it.
imagine what it looked
I can show you a picture of the after surgery if you would like.
like. All right.
Kind of gross. I mean, this is
Everyone on YouTube is gonna see it. So.
this is the cast I had for 2 weeks after surgery.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
everyone saw that.
yeah. Um,
But how do you like? Because your hands and your feet are similar. Everybody knows that. So like, imagine your
mhm.
hand breaking.
Yeah, so like it was the ligament that holds my pointer toe and my middle toe together. So imagine like right here, there's a little tiny ligament that holds these two,
And
and
it.
it ruptured.
Oh,
So my surgeon said that my foot was sliding apart, and if I didn't get surgery in like a week or so, my foot would have caved in, and like they would have like totally redone my foot.
that's insane. Dang, and you somehow came back.
Yeah, this was about a week after surgery.
Dang, that. And it's at right, like at that middle part. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like if you hurt your ankle or something, like I've hurt my ankle before. I mean that's not too bad, but the middle part of your foot, like you can't you can't do anything. You're hopping
I
around.
I couldn't walk, and thankfully it was on my left foot, so I could still drive. But
Oh, okay, you're right-handed.
yeah, so that was good. But yeah, it was definitely not a fun recovery.
Yeah. I don't understand how the doctor messed up that previous surgery. That's
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up that picture right now.
must have been a
That, that one's gross.
I don't want to say it was a quack doctor, but I mean,
No, but I was the third person on the team who, like, surgery she botched. I was the second knee and then one other kid's shoulder. But this is my knee after the surgery.
yeah, that's bigger than a golf ball.
So like that whole thing on the side is my like MCL.
Oh wow.
They said, and then like and it was just a simple scope of the meniscus, 45-minute surgery, in and out,
Mm.
recovery.
So do you like still have a meniscus and are you like Spencer Lee, where, like there's nothing there, or is it still
I
something?
have all my CLs. I just don't have a meniscus. Like I don't have my meniscus in my right knee.
Do you need a meniscus to
No,
like?
it's just cushion between your two knee joints pretty much. They just said that I'm at a higher risk of arthritis now, like a
Mm,
60% higher risk.
mm.
So that's no problem. I probably already have arthritis.
Yeah. Oh man, we're younger, we're old. We're the
I
oldest,
know, right?
the
Oh,
oldest
get
young people
up
I
and
know.
just like your back cracks 1,000 times.
Yeah. So I mean, besides all the injuries, I mean, Cornell's been able to really remain consistent. Even with all
Yeah,
these injuries, they're able to remain consistent.
we just had a phenomenal weekend at the
Yeah.
EIWAs. Um, set the record for highest team points scored.
Mm.
Pretty much everyone had a bonus point match. Vince Cornella had 100% bonus rate.
He did the hip toss, right?
Yeah, that was good. Um, and then Jacob Cardenas was wow in the finals. Wow. Julian
Of course.
Hines is not a fluke. Ain't no upset. Can't call it an upset anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna be my pick at his weight class to win it. You can tell him I
Mhm.
said that. He's my pick
Oh yeah.
to win it at his
Oh
weight.
yeah. I told our athletic director after the tournament, I said, truly believe after this performance, we're bringing a trophy home. That was insane. Like the first round, everyone had a bonus point victory.
Hmm.
That was huge.
Yeah, I think Cornell is gonna take like third at NCAAs, like right behind Penn State and Iowa.
Yeah,
Because I mean, it is a jump to beat them. It
it
is
is
a jump.
very hard, especially when they're bringing 9, 10 guys, and we're bringing 7, maybe 8.
Yeah,
Hope.
like there's not 10 Yannis, there's not 10 Vitos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we had 6 champs, 7 in the finals of the IWA, so it's kind of like a Penn State NCAA run, but for a conference tournament.
Yeah, exactly. But what's your opinion on like the bigger conference tournaments? I know that can change between every season, but like I'll notice that some of them would forfeit kind of on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I don't really think that happened this year, right?
Oh,
I didn't
really?
really see anything about it, but yeah, I don't get that. If you're there to wrestle, you're there to wrestle. You're wrestling for a seed at the tournament. Like,
Yeah, exactly. You got to qualify most likely. I mean,
yeah, right.
you saw the upsets that happened.
Yeah, it was a wild week of wrestling, weekend of wrestling, though.
Yeah,
March Madness.
yeah, exactly.
One of my professors in class asked, "It's March, you know what that means?" And I go, "Yup, March Madness." And she goes, "Yup, March Madness." And I go, "No, Madness."
Dang. And what the professor say about that?
She didn't know what I was talking about.
Wow.
No,
I bet Vito Ariani is somebody's probably one of her students, and
no, no.
you only
Just
wrestle with that.
me and Benny Baker. This is a
Oh,
contest. They're in Dethos.
oh, okay. Are the wrestlers like real popular though?
Yeah, we're pretty.
Like at least Yanni and people like that.
Yeah, everyone knows Yanni. How can you not? Everyone knows Vito too. Like the Cornell athletics Instagram or whatever did a story post. Who's your favorite Cornell athlete to watch? And a few people said yeah, Vito. So I think
Mm,
it's nice to have that. And it's just like the sports teams at Cornell pretty much support each other and go to each other's events. If we go to hockey all the time, they come to us. We go to field hockey. They like it's just like it's a one big group kind of, which is nice.
yeah, it's
And
pretty nice.
Cornell, like the three best sports are wrestling, hockey, and lacrosse.
Mm.
Like consistently in the top 5, top 10, all three of us, all three of the teams.
What about basketball? Are they good or no?
They're pretty good this year. Yeah, they had a good freshman class, but not really. And then football is just it's an Ivy League school, so
All right, so like the Ivy League thing, right? Like, are they like worse at sports than public schools,
yeah, because they're like
state schools?
the school just doesn't really support athletics. Like they're more about academics than athletics. So they're
Mm.
gonna put more money towards academics and more time and energy. But
Then why are the wrestlers always very consistent?
because of fundraising,
Ah,
alumni.
mm,
So that's nice. And like same with hockey and lacrosse too. Like so with Ivy Leagues, like I said, they don't really support athletic teams, so you have to get most of your funds yourself through fundraising, and we do like annual phone-a-thons where we'll call alumni or people who have donated to us before and ask them if they want to donate again, and just like give them a little synopsis of the year, have a little chat with them, and then we'll also call them up and say thank you in the beginning of the year. and just like thank you for donating, supporting our team. So like that's a nice little thing we do, and it like creates a network and gets us connected to the alumni, which is nice.
Right, that's cool. Yeah. You ever called anybody that didn't donate?
Some
I
people
mean,
are like, no, can you take me off the list? But it's not a lot. Everyone's just like, yeah, I'll just donate the same as last year. But it's nice, like there's a tradition every year where the seniors have to donate the year they graduate. So I donated $20.23 this year.
wow.
Next year it's $20.20. So just that's nice. And then it's also how they rope you in because then they get to call you next year and be like, hey, the phone is on, you want to donate?
No, I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like, I mean, I don't have any money to do that now, but I mean, I wouldn't mind like after I get big and do stuff, I wouldn't mind donating to a bunch of wrestling schools.
Yeah, right. Why not? Just grow the sport.
Yeah, I wonder if the UFC fighters that used to wrestle, I wonder if they donate, like Kamal Usman and
Probably
John
do.
Jones.
I bet you DC does
Mm,
because he's still so involved in it. He's a high school coach. Like,
yeah, I
you ever
know.
see that video of a high school coach at a tournament, and he's like, he's on in the corner,
Oh
and
yeah,
like when the face when you realize you're you're coaching against the NCAA and USC champion
yeah,
as opposed to there's DC.
yeah. But I mean, I mean, he was probably just joking because DC's
No,
like that high school.
obviously he was joking, and I bet the DC thought it was funny too.
Yeah, DC's mad cool. I want to meet him one day.
Yeah. What do you think of the? Did you watch the John Jones fight?
Yeah,
All 2 minutes of
it was so short. They put it on TikTok. I saw the whole fight on TikTok.
it.
That's how short it
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I mean, what can you say? He's a beast.
Yeah, you saw his post-fight speech. The first thing that he
Hmm.
said out of his mouth.
Hmm.
Why did he think to say that out of his mouth?
He's John Bones Jones.
Yeah. Oh, you're real happy he has your last name, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we're related. That's what I tell. Well, I don't say John Jones, but you ever hear Jones Beach?
Yeah.
Island? Anyone, I'm like, yeah, that was like my great grandfather. He was the one who designed and constructed Jones Beach and like the parkways, and they believe me. And then I'm like, I'm joking. Like, no, 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 because like Jones, you live on Long Island, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
it kind of matches up.
I see. I made that joke. I thought like I was gonna be the first one to make that joke. Remember, I made that joke at Final X, but then
Uh,
you already had it in your head already. John Beach.
like I would always say Julio Jones, cousin. I have his jersey, so it's like it's number 11, which is my lucky number too. So it just works.
Wait, who's Julio Jones? Who's that?
He used to be a wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, which is my favorite football team as well.
Why
But
is
now,
that your favorite?
huh?
Why is that your favorite football
I was
team?
um on the way home from Super 32 at the airport. There was a store that had a bunch of like NFL hats, and my high school colors were red, black, and white. And I saw this hat, and it looked cool, and then I got it, and I started following the Falcons that year, and then they did well the next year, and then the next year they were in the Super Bowl, and
Mm.
we were up 28-3. And I was like, yeah. I texted my high school group chat and I was like, told you guys, let's go Falcons. And then next day coming into school was a rough day because they blew the 28-3 lead and lost to Tom Brady. So I could
Yeah.
not stop being a Falcons fan there. And then I just stuck with the team and
I mean, I
and
don't watch football like that much, but I know enough about it to understand what's going on. But since you mentioned Tom Brady, I got to mention the only guy that beat him twice. I don't
Eli
know if you could see
Manning.
it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah,
Yeah, the Giants. Okay.
he's the only one. No one else could say that. He beat him twice. He wasn't supposed to do it.
You ever hear the story of them in their first Super Bowl? Um,
Right?
Eli, I think it was he drew a horse on a piece of paper. I think it was a horse. It was some type of animal, and he gave it to Tom before the game. And don't like remember the story exactly. Like you could look it up too. But after the game, Tom went to give it back to him, and Eli was like, "No, hold it for the next one." And the next game, he gave um Tom another horse, and it was just like a tactic he was trying to use against him. And Tom Brady was like telling the story. He was like, I had no idea what he was trying to do by this, but it was funny. And he told me keep them, and it's just seemed like a New York Giants thing to do.
Or New York Giants. Well, we're
Because
gonna move
any New York Giants fan I know is corny as hell.
corny. So I'm corny.
Corny. Yeah.
I'm not funny.
No, you're funny, but corny too.
Oh, matter of fact, that reminds me of a funny joke you told. Remember the Cornell camp that we were at?
MPA.
Yeah. I remember I saw some other blonde kid and I saw you talking to him all day. And then I see him walking by and we're like talking with Bogey and them. I'm like, Sal, you know that kid, right? And then you go, because I'm white? I'm like, yo, man, that's what you really that's what you really think. You were literally talking to him all day. And you're like, because I'm white? I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, that was
I
funny.
found the story of the Eli thing.
Oh, you did? You actually looked it up. Wow.
Oh yeah, I want to be right. I don't want to say false information, spread false information.
Oh yeah.
So this is a quote from Tom. Losing to Eli in the Super Bowl was so tough, and most people don't know this, but he handed me a horse he colored with crayon when we shook hands after the first win. He said to me, Tom, thanks for playing the ball game with me. I'm sorry I won, but here's a horse I made. I have lots more of these back at home I want to show you sometime, but you can keep this one. I made it for you. I was so mad about the game, I couldn't even laugh at the joke he was clearly making. Then 2 hours after the game, he called me up and said, Tom, I need my horse drawing back. I changed my mind about giving you my horse drawing. I laughed and laughed. Eli got a unique sense of humor. A few years later, we played another Super Bowl together, and sure enough, he beat me again. After the game, he shook my hand really firmly with a strength I didn't know he had, and an angry look in his eyes, and said, "That's for not giving me my horsey back. Next time, give it back, Tom."
He's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Corny,
He did he did all of that.
corny,
He did all of that to beat him.
twice.
He beat the best twice. No one else could say they did it. Just like Kyle Dake, right? He did that 4 times in 4 different weight classes. Nobody else could say that they did that.
Nope.
Nobody. And there's an argument, who's the best collegiate wrestler of all time? Cale Sampson, Kyle Dake. I mean, look, Cale was undefeated, kinda. He lost one time his redshirt year, but he was
Mm-hmm.
undefeated. But Kyle came in as a true freshman and went all the way, won 4 titles. He didn't have undefeated seasons, but he won 4 titles in 4 different weight classes.
And he
That's
was bumped up his senior year to wrestle DT.
yeah. Was that his senior year?
Yep.
Oh, that's okay. David Taylor was so angry when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
They're friends now, but like he was
Mm-hmm.
because everybody thought David's gonna win 4 because of how great he was in high school and well, he's Penn State, Cal Sanders, right? And then what happened?
Cornell, baby.
Remember when Bubba Jenkins beat him?
Mm-hmm.
That's
That was like a bittersweet as well because Bubba transferred because of him now.
I mean, one of the New York City coaches gave like more insight on Snapchat because you can get away with stuff on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's more to the story of Bubba and David and Kale specifically, but Bubba and Kale are cool. Like they shook hands during a little dual meet thing they had during the pandemic and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because he wrestled North during that time, and he shook
Mm-hmm.
hands with Kale and all that. But he even mentioned in the Instagram post that David didn't want to talk to him or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. There's always something deeper, but
Beef in there, yeah. And David's talking about he wants to go fight.
yeah, I saw that. Jo just signed with Bellator.
Bellator.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that they're fighting and stuff. It's not
Mm-hmm.
bad at all.
I think it's good for the sport. More publicity for it,
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
especially
Imagine.
if people just tap the dude on his first main guard.
Oh yeah, yeah, Bo, yeah. But I mean, there's levels though. Bo ain't just gonna go and beat Makachev. Anything gonna happen.
No, No.
You gotta get good for that.
Yeah. 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 I don't know.
But he's definitely good right now, though. I can say that.
Yeah. I don't know. I love the UFC, but I could never do it.
Why? Too
I
many
could not
injuries?
keep getting punched in the face continuously.
Oh, you.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
Oh man, it's an adrenaline rush. We want to hit them back,
I
right?
definitely, yeah, yeah, I get that, but no. Nope.
That's a dream job for me. You get paid a lot of money to
Yeah,
beat somebody up. You get to train real hard for like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, however long, and you get to beat somebody up without getting shot.
what's better?
Exactly. What's better? You get paid to talk crap about somebody and beat them up without getting
Hmm.
shot. Or maybe you could be friends with the guy, but it's gonna be competition. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And have some good fights. And John Jones winning that quickly. I mean, he did what he had to do. Like, he did
Yep.
exactly what he had to do.
Really. He knew what he had to do too. I would like to see him versus Stipe.
Yeah, he called him out, so
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know if there's anyone that can beat him.
nobody that can beat him.
I don't think so.
I don't know what it is. Is it the PEDs? I mean, well, he's off them now, so
Yeah. I don't know. He's just a beast. I know both his brothers were in the NFL and had Super Bowl rings.
two brothers. I thought he only had one.
The commentators did too.
Oh yeah, he only mentions one. Huh? But yeah, one of them has Super Bowl ring. Yeah, but he's not tall like John though. John's just
Yeah, he has two, Chandler Jones and Arthur Jones.
okay. Only both got Super Bowl rings. Wow, but they ain't got nothing on Sal Jones, right?
Oh,
That's crazy though. You know he's from New York, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Around here.
Yeah. That's and people up there told me he's from Rochester, but I mean, I guess he
Yeah.
was born in Rochester, but then grew up around like over there.
No, Rochester's like an hour and a half from
Oh,
here.
really? Oh, it's not
Yeah.
far. Okay.
No,
Oh, I
Jan.
keep forgetting.
Yeah, Yanni's from
It's
Rochester.
yeah, Giannis from Rochester. Yeah, and Frankie's from Rochester too.
Yep.
Frankie's crazy. He's very, very cool. And he's
Hmm.
friends with Yanni.
Yep.
He put that picture of him and Yanni. They were hanging out one day. He put it in a group chat. I'm like, okay. Oh, that's fine. Oh, he called you small. Remember I told you that?
Yeah, I was small.
Yeah, you were so small.
I
I remember when
know.
I first met you, I went like that to your head. Like you were so small.
I was tiny. I still kind of am. I
I
just put
mean,
more mass on.
you're taller than me, so there's that. The fact that Sal Jones is taller than anybody is hilarious.
I used to be a little chubster too in eighth and ninth.
Chubby.
Yeah,
When? When are you chubby?
in eighth and ninth grade, I had like a lot of baby fat
Oh, okay.
because like I went to Lou High, um, my eighth grade year, and in order to wrestle 99 pounds, you had to weigh 92 pounds, and I weighed like 88 pounds.
Mm.
So, and that whole summer, the coaches were telling me gain as much weight as you can, put as much as weight on as you can, and I got up to 88, and I just looked so bloated, and it
You're on the
was,
seafood diet.
I was on a protein diet, protein shake diet,
Uh,
3 of them a day. It was, oh,
really?
it was horrible.
Oh wow, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, for certs, I had to drink 3 bottles of water and 2 bottles of Gatorade to make weight.
Wow. Remember how your voice sounded back then?
Very high, very, very high.
I know you don't want me telling that story, so I won't do it.
I
Okay.
wish back,
Oh,
like we said last time, we were back in high school right now as a like with our level right now being like unfair, I feel like.
Yeah,
For most college kids too, a lot.
yeah, it'd be yeah. Remember Zach Romero? Remember him?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, he was my rival. He beat me 3 times. He beat me once in Greco, twice in no, once in Greco, yeah, twice in folk style, yeah. You know, no, one time in folk style. He beat me. Yeah, we only wrestled twice, but he beat me.
My arch nemesis was David Berkovich.
Yeah,
1-4.
David's crazy. So,
Yeah, beat me 4 times in a row.
but you beat him when it mattered.
He also beat me when it mattered too, though.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah.
In ninth grade, he beat me in the state finals, and then I beat him in my 10th grade year.
Uh,
And then I had Dove the next 2 years, so it wasn't. I wanted to get away from like I wanted an easy route in my like in the state tournament, but I always had David or Dove, so it was
yeah,
never.
David. Yeah, they like intertwined. Yeah, Dove was good though. Dove was really good.
I was,
But injuries, man, injuries got him.
injuries suck.
I think I'm too strong to get injured personally. I don't even mean that to be arrogant. I think I'm just too
It
strong.
sucks because I never got hurt in high school, so
Mm,
I had never had an injury in high school.
wow.
Never sat him at like it was like eye opening to have my first like it was my second college match ever. I tore my meniscus. It was and I had no idea like I was it was the wrestlebacks and I was wrestling a Penn State kid and I was winning 9-2 and he came back and tied it. But in the first period I didn't know I tore my meniscus and I kept wrestling and then OT the first overtime nothing happened. I got out right away in the ride out. No, I wrote him out the first ride out. So I chose bottom the second one and I got out right away. And then with 10 seconds left, he shot a single on my left leg. And then when he picked it up and I was only on my right leg gave out and I went right to my back because I had no meniscus. And that's when I realized. And then anytime I tried to walk, I was like falling down. I couldn't support myself when I was walking.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. That happens. Part of the game.
Yeah. So, I mean, with all that being said, let's talk about like New York wrestling in general because we don't get enough love at all.
No, we don't. Especially now that this year we're back, baby. New York wrestling is back to being tough. I love it. I was watching the state finals this year, and it was good to see a lot of good kids and a lot of young kids too.
Yeah, 10 New York City wrestlers made the podium across all the divisions and stuff.
That's great.
Yeah. We usually don't do that good. Now, why is it that we're usually not doing great? I mean, there's a lot of different answers, but we're
Yeah, I'd say
starting to get good.
biggest one is opportunity and um I want to say this to like it's not lack of coaching. Yeah, yeah. Like not there aren't many coaches or people willing to coach and people willing to try and give wrestling a shot on
Mm.
both ends, even like to try it as a sport and or try to bring it on as a program in a high school, a women's program, a college program, and it's like no one really wants to take that step and leap of faith.
Yeah, New York City is weird because we have so many schools that, like, the amount of schools that we have in New York City greatly overlap the amount of schools that have wrestling. That's crazy. We have all these schools in New York City and not a lot have wrestling. And believe it or not, there's some schools with wrestling, but only girls wrestling, which is kind of well, all right. There's some all girls schools, yeah, so that makes sense. But there's like really not a lot of schools with wrestling if you really think about it. Because
Yeah,
like obviously living here all my life, I know like pretty much all the high schools that are there. We got the big book, that we get in 8th grade. You got to pick. I don't know if it was like that for you guys in Long Island, but we got that
mm-mm.
gigantic book. We got to look through it. And then, those of us that wanted to wrestle, we look at the schools that have wrestling, but there's really not a lot.
Yeah, wow. No, it's not like that on Long Island. No, most schools on Long Island have wrestling programs. Not really girls. I know that's starting to pick up now, but well, but yeah, it's just these schools and like honestly, like it's the local, state, and government too that doesn't want to take this leap and put support behind wrestling, and it's a shame because it's only gaining popularity. Yeah, I thought it was insane that they were gonna take it out of the 2020 Olympics. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, that
Take
we
that out.
started the Olympics.
Uh-huh, literally. And you're gonna take that out and put skateboarding in? BMX? Really?
That's not an Olympic sport.
No. Not even a sport in my opinion. Like
I mean, it's athletic in
it's
a
more of a
way.
hobby.
Yeah, it's an extreme sport. It's not really like a traditional sport thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
What you gonna do? Tony Hawk present the gold medal? Like, come on. But yeah, that would have made no sense. But also on other things, like like Rocco Walsh, for example, he just won another PA state title.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Pan Am champion not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's one of the best wrestlers in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, he trains in New York. He drives from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, all the way to Yonkers, which is like right above where I'm at because I'm in the Bronx, and he drives over there all the time. Well, when he during like freestyle season and all that, and he's training there most of the time. He spends more time training there than at his own school.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like KD's training center. That's what got him like at a high level.
Mm.
He wasn't training PA.
Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, like KD traveled with him to the Pan Ams and stuff like that. Like so, somebody from Pennsylvania is as good as they are training in New York. So, and I talked to him about that. He said, yeah, he agreed. New York doesn't get enough love. Like
Yeah, it doesn't.
people love Yanni, but they forget where he's from.
Yep. And the other thing too is that like New York really never has a good outing at Fargo. And that's mainly because the better kids don't go.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, my senior year in the junior division, we had no All-Americans, and I was the closest one in the blood round.
Yeah, I remember you said that. Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the top names that were still in high school didn't go.
Well, I
Grant,
like. Well, say it.
what were you gonna say?
Well, like I know, like some of them were talking about how they didn't want to risk getting hurt before going to college. They just wanted to focus on that, like going to college,
Yeah.
wrestling
But
wherever they're gonna wrestle at.
the other thing I was gonna say is like the top guys, like I have to give them respect because they were trying to make a world team.
That's another thing. Yeah,
So it's not like they're gonna go to Fargo and they're trying to make a junior or cadet world team.
yeah. Like Frankie said that he only went to Fargo once, and the only reason he went is because he didn't make the world team. If he
Mm-hmm.
made the world team, he wouldn't have went.
Yep. I've been to Fargo 3 times. It's very tough and brutal tournament. Very brutal.
Yeah, because you got all the training beforehand, and then
Yeah, Team New York goes out. I don't know if they still do this, but when I went, they went out like a week before, stayed on the North Dakota State campus,
yep.
practice in their facility, ate at their dining halls. But it was nice.
Somebody I know, he traveled with two people from his high school in 2021 for Fargo, and he was significantly smaller than the other two guys, and he was 12 pounds overweight, and he did not have a low body fat percentage, still doesn't. And it's like, why are you 12 pounds overweight? You should not be. You're smaller than the other two people in your group, in your little crew. Why are you 12 pounds overweight?
That's
That's
wild.
that's insane. And like back to what you said about like you said one of your teammates had a hard time making weight. It's like, look, you gotta You got to find a way to control that, guys.
But the thing with my teammate was he was a freshman, so he was growing still.
Mm, okay.
So he couldn't really control it.
Uh, but some of these guys would be like that guy, the person I'm talking about that went to Fargo, like how the hell he 12 pounds overweight, and they do
That's
all that practicing and stuff that there, and it's like you're still 12 pounds over. Like, come on.
yeah, that's wild.
Oh, but one thing he mentioned though, he said he couldn't go to sleep without eating something.
You just cut out and you
Oh, he said he couldn't go to sleep ever without eating something.
mm,
I mean, I'm not like saying skip a bunch of meals, but I mean, you can afford to go to bed without eating at
yeah,
least
well,
once or twice.
definitely. That's
Just
just
drink.
like that's just willpower and like inner strength.
Yeah. Like I know people that would just play PlayStation while they couldn't wait so that they wouldn't, think about anything.
I watch food porn on my phone,
You
like on it.
what? Why'd you say that on my show?
Because that's what it's called. That's what it's called. It's called food porn.
Sal Jones. You're gonna get me kicked off YouTube.
No. It's just like a
Word.
bunch of videos and pictures of beautiful food.
The word
Like,
porn. You're gonna,
I'll show you.
they check the, that box they make you check when you upload a video. This video is not made for kids. What's that Instagram account called?
Food porn.
That's what you watch when you cut weight. What the hell?
Look. If you can't have it, why not imagine having it?
Oh man, Sal Jones. He should have said, "I watch food porn when I cut weight." That does look really good. You're trying to
I,
get me
that's what I'm
to.
saying. I heard that at the New York State freestyle tournament. I forget what year it was, but I was walking in with a couple friends and they were like talking about what they do like during cutting weight. And one of the kids was like, I watch food porn. I heard that and I had the same exact reaction you had. And then I got stuck doing it. But it is helpful.
Watch food porn. This private school kid just showed me watching. That I would watch people make food. I would do that.
Pretty
But
much
I'm
what it
not.
is.
No, no, no. You are. I would like. There's a few YouTube accounts where
I'll show
guys,
you how many people follow that account that I also follow.
but there's a few video accounts where
Five
guys are
people,
five. What?
5 people that I follow also follow that account.
Oh, so you got them. All right. Well,
So it's not like I'm the only one doing it.
yeah. Speaking of that, Israel Adesanya had a video recently. I think it's before he got knocked out. He said the embarrassing thing he would do to make weight.
What
I'm not
was
gonna
it?
say it. Figure it
I
out.
don't know what it was.
Figure out what we were just talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what he would do to make weight. I'm like, wow. Like I don't know how.
I mean, I guess that's a way.
Yeah, he found a way. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
has a low body fat percentage, so I guess you got to do what you got to do. But
If there's a will, there's a way.
yeah. But speaking of that, how much weight would you gain after you weigh in?
So it depends because if I have to weigh in again like the next week, I'm not gonna get that big.
Mm.
So after Binghamton, I stayed like 155, 157 maybe. I like 157 was pushing it for me because I don't have a lot of body fat. I don't sweat at all pretty much. Like it takes a lot for me to sweat. I'll like at most I'll lose 5 pounds of practice, and that's on a Tuesday that it's really hot in the room and we're going really hard. Um, I'm sorry, I completely backtracked. What was the question again?
Yeah, so like Yeah, yeah. So about like how much weight would you gain afterwards, after you weigh in or after a match?
Oh yeah. Um, so after Binghamton, I stayed at like 55 because if you weren't going to Vegas, you had to wrestle at the Lock Haven Open. So either way, you had to weigh in again. So, but I had to wrestle off and I won, so I went to Vegas. And then I stayed around 55, 57 for a while. And then I got a concussion this year. And then I shot up to like 162. And then I was there for a while. And then my trainer kept asking me, "How's your weight? What do you weigh?" And he would tell me get it down, just make sure you're okay. And I kept asking him, like, why do you keep asking me? Am I wrestling? Why do you keep telling me to keep my weight down? He wouldn't tell me. And then finally he told me that I was wrestling Ohio State. So I got my weight down, and then the next day I was 160. So because I knew that was my last time ever weighing in. So I blew up.
Dang.
But I came into college weighing 130, and then the next summer I weighed 160. So I put 30 pounds on in my first year. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember you looking that big in the
Yeah,
summer of 2019.
I was though. That was the first time I ever hit 160, and then I didn't hit 160 again until this year. So it
Oh,
took me
wow.
4 years to hit 160 again. But I wrestled 126 at Fargo that summer, and then I shot up to like 140, 145. Um, like maybe I hit 150, and then I got real sick before Binghamton, so I was weighing 141 already. So I
Mm.
decided to just cut to 33, and then shot back up to 50 after that because I wasn't wrestling because of the meniscus. And then the next year, that summer, um after was it no, that was during COVID. So the next year I went 41 the whole time. I actually started off at 49. I did the first tournament of the year, Princeton Open at 149, just because I had to do another frog year because I got denied by Cornell, my first frog year. But so I didn't like it didn't really matter what weight I went. I could pick whatever one because it wasn't a set lineup. You didn't have to certify your weight like for a weight. So I just went 149, and then after that I went 41. But like I said, I stayed around 150, 155. I didn't get too big. I got sick again over the summer and I lost a lot of weight. So I decided to go 61 kilos for U23s, which is like 134 and a half. And that was miserable. One of the worst weight cuts like the worst weight cut I've ever had. I cut so much weight for that. And then I shot up again to 155. And
Wow.
then um, I went 41 the next year, and then I had my foot surgery. And then when I had my foot surgery, my trainer told me, and I thought he was joking, but he goes, "Sal, you're gonna be a 57 pounder next year. Like, do whatever you can, just get up to 57." And I got up to 165 over the summer, but I'm not a 57 at all. Like I'm too short. I'm not strong enough. So I just decided to go 49. And then that whole summer I was debating and talking to Julian, talking to my dad a lot about what weight I should go, 41 or 49. And then I just talked to an alumni who's a coach now, and he told me he's like, realistically, you have to realize that who you're going up against at both weights, and you got to know where you are. And most likely, it's going to be B. And he was just being real with me, and he goes, "Why are you going to put yourself through that miserable time of your senior year, making 41, when you could just be Yanni's backup and maybe see time?" Because we had no idea if he was wrestling beginning of the year or not for Worlds and World Team for World Cup, but that's what I did, and probably the best decision I made.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm happy, healthy.
that's good. It's really good. So, yeah, I need to cut a bunch of weight.
No, no. And like that's the one thing is I never cut weight pretty much. In high school, my dad wouldn't let me. The most he would let me cut is 10, and most I've ever cut in high school is 7. He didn't want me to stop my growth, and like he knew cutting weight at a young age wasn't good for you, like wasn't good for your organs and stuff. So he just wouldn't let me do it, and I thank him for that.
Mm. I mean, I kind of cut weight, but I always wind up being like under the weight limit, which is good.
Yeah.
But I mean, last time I wrestled at the War at the Shore in the open division, I was like 4 or 5 pounds under. So I'm like, all right,
War at the Shore is a fun tournament.
yeah. Is it always down there in what should we call it? What do you call that spot? I forgot what it's called.
Jersey Shore,
No, well, it's on the Jersey Shore. Yeah, a certain part.
Wildwood.
Yeah, Wildwood. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's a fun spot.
Yeah, I remember going to the Sonic right there, like on the boardwalk, and then like, they give you your thing and then go, oh, okay, it's all good.
Oh, you mean the the
Dairy
food?
Queen, Dairy Queen, Dairy Queen. I
I
get them
didn't.
mixed
I don't
up.
remember seeing that, but I mean, I kind of avoided all the spots where it was like unhealthy. But their
Or was that
pizza though.
Virginia Beach? That was Virginia Beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, because I know there was a Dairy Queen on the board.
That was Virginia Beach.
I would have won if there was. But
Yeah.
freaking whatchamacallit, their pizza there. They had some spot where their pizza was good. And me and these Jersey people were saying, yeah, me and these Jersey people were talking about, my pizza and their pizza. And one of the guys, the guy that owned the spot, he was saying, well, it's an acquired taste. And I was like, it's either New York pizza or nothing. Simple.
Yeah. Long Island pizza or nothing.
Here you go with this. All right, now we're gonna get into that part of the conversation. How Long Island stole everything from New York, right? New York
Okay,
City.
yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah.
did.
I did, right?
You did. You stole our accent.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I hear a lot of Italians say, "Oh, it's an Italian accent." No, it is not. They need
It's
to
a Long
go.
Island accent.
No, it is not. No, it is not. All right. It is a
You know,
New
when
York.
people tell me you have such a Long Island accent, I'm like, do I really?
People tell you that crap. Who lied to
Yeah,
you?
I know. But they tell me it's when I get like mad or like emphasize things.
Yeah, I hear it. I mean, like you kind of lost a little bit of it because you've been up there. I remember
Yeah,
when you were when we
redneck.
were younger, you definitely had it.
Yeah.
I remember we were doing something at the Cornell camp, and it was like a football kind of thing, and I wasn't going fast enough apparently, and then I get up to you, then you go, "Ooh, faster." That's when I first like really heard your accent. I'm like, "Wow, this okay." And you're looking at me with them blue eyes and stuff, and oh, this is a
That
blue
was
eye.
so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. Except that one part, but yeah, everything else was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. What about you remember that one? I don't even know how to
Gotta be careful
describe.
what you bring up about that
I
camp.
know, I know, I know. I gotta be careful how to describe this. I honestly don't even remember his name, so I can't even say it. But he was a city kid, and one night he had a um an accident. Do you remember on the wall?
Oh, you weren't even
Oh,
there. I was there for that.
what? Oh, we're one sec.
All right.
What up?
Ignore that, ladies and gentlemen.
My bad, my bad.
Oh
Popular
yeah.
guy, can I say?
Oh yeah, you weren't even there for that. That was in my room. Yeah, so it was dark, pitch black dark,
Yep,
and
I remember hearing it though.
yeah, and we were all sleeping. Right now, picture this, guys. Pitch black dark. We're all sleeping. All you hear is psst, psst. So then the coaches are yelling at him, cursing him out, and all that. And then the lights, and then they like to curse him out, like stop peeing on the floor. And then he goes, "I can't stop." And then the lights come on, and then Bogey starts acting silly. He called him R. Kelly. He called him R. Kelly because he pissed on the wall. I brought that up so many times. Like me and one of his teammates made a song about it. We would be like, "I can't stop, I can't stop." He pissed on. Because what happened was he thought he went outside the cabin because it was dark. He couldn't see. but he went inside Malik and one of the NYC coaches' room, and he started pissing on the floor.
It was wild.
Crazy.
Did you see what happened at the EIWA tournament on Saturday?
Didn't we talk about that?
No.
Something else happened? What happened?
Yeah, something real gross in the first round.
What happened?
Someone had another accident and
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I saw that. Yo, no, I don't know how. I don't know how. That couldn't be me. All right. I've been late to matches and tournaments because I had to go to the bathroom. A bunch of my guys, we would always make sure we took care of that before we stepped on the mat. You always go to the bathroom before you start wrestling. You do not wrestle when you have to go to the bathroom.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad.
You're live on Flow, like thousands of people are gonna see you.
Gets DQ'd.
You got DQ'd. How do you get DQ'd? That's not your fault. Well, it kind of is your fault.
Can't
There's
do
a
anything.
hand.
Like, are you gonna continue to wrestle?
Take off, go to the bathroom, take off the singlet.
Yeah, he came back and won his next match though.
Yeah, but I wouldn't disqualify him because that messes up your record and all that.
He had like forfeit.
Forfeit, because you. But that was bad.
It was real
Like
bad.
toddlers don't make that much of a mess. Like that was bad.
Bad.
How we a grown man let that happen? Oh man, that was. You saw it live, man. I can imagine what your reaction was.
I actually did not see it.
Oh, I saw a picture.
That's what I saw. I saw the picture.
Dang, man. Was he from Hofstra? It looked like I saw a blue singlet. He's from Hofstra. Oh man, I could never. I couldn't go back on campus. Like, I have to go home for the weekend and come back afterwards. Like,
That's bad.
I couldn't go on the bus after that. Nope.
That's bad. I
Nope.
probably would show up in the room.
Nah, I would go back in the room, but I would have my gloves on and my mouth
I
guard.
don't know.
I didn't
Yeah,
want to talk.
I'd have gloves on. That's right, because you're gonna hear a lot of shit.
Wants to talk.
No pun intended.
Who wants to talk? Yeah, that's how I did. Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. That's just bad. Like I've seen people throw up in practice and all that.
And I've
Oh,
seen like stains on singlets, like,
mm,
but not that.
yeah, that,
Not that.
yeah, that was bad. I've seen people throw up during practice, but like it never happened to me. I remember one time during 2021 when they had all the city kids out in parks and stuff because we didn't have the freedom you guys upstate and Long Island had. But I was eating Chinese food, and Penn was like, I'm gonna make you puke now. I'm gonna make you puke during practice. He must have forgotten who he's talking to. I didn't come close to puking. He forgot who he was talking to. He really forgot who he was talking. He's gonna make me puke during practice. You know the kind of stuff I do when you guys aren't looking. You
I
gonna make me
puked
puke?
one time after
Oh, oh,
I it was this like all-star thing held in Florida,
mm,
and I was supposed to wrestle this high school coach, and last and like the weight was like 145 or something, but like it was like +5. Like they didn't really care about the weight. But then last second they flipped it and they put me up against Anthony Arnalona at like 160.
mm.
So I was real small for it. So I ate up a public sub, like a buffalo chicken sub, right before weigh-ins, and then right after the match,
I don't know why you did that. You should
I
have ate
knew
like a should have ate like salad or something. Like
I hate salad.
beans.
I can't eat salad.
You hate salad?
Can't eat it.
How did you have abs if you hate salad?
Sit-ups, crunches, ab workouts.
No, you can't just eat what you want and then get abs. No, I remember you having chiseled abs. Yeah,
I
like
ate
big.
whatever I wanted. I had a lot of fast food in high school.
the way you looked. I
Hmm?
remember how you looked. And you
Yeah,
had
I would have
fat.
that for like 2, 3 nights a week.
I was trying so hard to get to look like you guys having abs and all that, perfectly defined chest and stuff. I'm doing all that stuff, making sure I watch what I eat.
Some of it's
I'm hearing you
genetics.
eat what you want.
Some of it's
Genetics.
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 Yeah.
I'm black. Talk about genetics.
Why? Because of my dad?
What?
He was
No,
fit in
that's
his
that's all.
day.
That's all I'm saying. I didn't say that. You said that. See, look, see, you putting words in my mouth. I didn't say all that. You're gonna get me in trouble. Look,
You set me up.
I didn't set you up. Remember I was small, but you were small, bro. Like,
I know, but
you ate what you wanted.
anything and everything.
That's crazy. You ate what you wanted,
I still do.
and you got chiseled. And well, now I see why. But you got chiseled and jacked before eating what
Hmm.
you wanted. I'm sitting here trying to watch what I eat, and I mean, I look good, but I'm still not getting like that.
I'm telling you, genetics, metabolism, like
Your dad must have been like muscled up when he was younger,
skinny.
skinny, because he's tall. Mm.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that's probably what it is. Because you did get a little like skinnier when he got taller. You.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yep.
remember like I didn't realize how much tall you got until right like when we were in Penn Station. You guys were about to leave. That's when I realized, oh shoot, you actually got really tall. Because
Mhm.
you were kind of walking funny the whole time, but because you got hurt
Yeah,
walking around NYC.
yeah.
And you said you weren't even supposed to be doing that, but because you were in New York City, you could do it. Because nothing's far away.
No, nothing is.
I remember when we were walking from 34th over to the east side, and my dad sitting there talking about, oh, but how many people are with you guys? I'm like, we have a Division I All American with us. I'm talking about Vito. We will be fine.
Yeah, like we're good. Don't
Like
worry.
there's five of us, all right, and two of them were Brendan Furman and Jonathan Lowe. Like we're gonna be fine.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah, that whole thing though, Final X. I got to eat caviar. I'm the only one in my neighborhood that can say he's had caviar.
I've never had caviar.
I would expect you to have had it, but I never had it. You never got invited to anything like big like that to where you could eat? Wow.
Not until college. Not until like my ex-girlfriend.
Ah, but the fact I got to eat it though,
Is it
I
good?
yeah, and based on what it tastes like, I see why they had it like with something. You can't just eat it by itself. I've seen people do that on TV and stuff, but I see why you can't eat it by itself. It's like you're gonna get tired of it if you do that. That was great. I thought Dom was gonna be there. I wanted to meet Dom, but I
Nah,
guess he
he
didn't
was
want to.
home.
Yeah,
He
he
was
didn't want to
home
make that
for
trip.
the summer. Yeah.
If I didn't live in New York City and I knew somebody that lived in New York City and I had a chance, like if you did that and I didn't live in New York, I would have definitely went.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's a great thing. Where New York is, we live in the best. Well, okay, I'll include Long Island, but we live in the best spot in the world.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
Maybe
Long
not Long
Island,
Island, but
but
New York City is the best.
yeah, definitely not living on Long Island again.
I mean, I like it when I go there, but I guess it's different
It's
if you
nice
live
to
there.
visit. It's nice to visit, but living there is hard.
Mm,
It's like financially, because it's so expensive.
yeah, you guys still steal everything from New York City, but steal our pizza, steal our accent, steal our
But we got bagels.
you steal our bagels.
You get a Long Island bagel up here. You
It's
get
not a
everything.
Long Island bagel. It's not Long Island bagel. When I go to Orchard Beach, you know where that is?
No.
It's in the Bronx. Whenever I go there, you know that water that's next to it? That's a Long Island Sound. I can see Long Island.
Uh-huh.
I bet you at the time during high school, if I threw a rock real far, it probably would have hit you in the head. That's our water, our bagels, our
No,
accent, our pizza.
no.
You steal our phrases too. There's phrases that we have that you stole from us.
Like what?
Should I tell? I don't know.
It's brick outside.
Yes, that's us. It's definitely us.
The Tims.
That's a Bronx thing, actually. I never owned a pair of Tims.
Really?
Surprise, surprise. But yeah, that's us.
I did when I was younger, but I don't have any now. They're expensive.
Yeah,
Two hundred
because
dollars. Like fuck that.
I
Fuck.
mean, no, I got boots right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That
saying. I got boots that do the same thing.
no, but like my dad spent like 200 on some ACGs recently. I got him over it.
Honestly.
But I guess because
My
ACGs,
dad spends $200 on it. I'm not gonna say a word, but I ain't gonna spend $200 on it.
yeah. I mean, like I brought some Adidas. They cost 70.
Yeah, I bought some New Balances, some like retro ones for $35.
I see. That's the difference between New York City and everywhere else in New York. Because if I walk around with a pair of New Balances, well, not now, but like back then, if I would have walked around with a pair of New Balances, I would have got made fun of.
No, these
In
are
high
fire.
s- in high school, yeah, you get made fun of. You need
I
like
mean, in high school, everyone was about Jordans.
and Nike and Adidas, like you'd have to KDs. You couldn't
Yeah,
walk in there wearing anything looking generic.
Nike Elite socks.
Yeah, you ever had Elite socks?
Oh, I had so much. I was a collector.
Wow, yeah, I never had a pair, but
$8 a pop.
I never had a pair. My dad would like control what I bought, stuff like that. I mean, it's usually his money back then, but now I could go get a pair. It wouldn't be an issue
Yeah,
because they're for athletes.
yeah.
I mean, to
They're
me,
comfy.
I don't feel the difference. Like you're either comfy, but I don't feel the difference between athletic socks and regular socks. Like if they come,
They're just a little more padded.
uh, so I don't know what that does. But does it help
Yeah,
you?
I have no idea either.
Doesn't really. Oh, I keep every time I go on like Walgreens or something, I keep seeing like the stuff, like the insoles and all that, the stuff you have. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, Sal could use this. Sal could use that.
yeah. I had a carbon fiber plate in my shoe the whole year,
Wow.
so I can't bend my toes like that and tear it again.
Oh, right, right. What do you used to walk around now? Nothing? Or?
No, I just my surgeon said that I have to wear shoes that don't bend when you go like this. You know what I mean?
Oh, so like, oh, so you couldn't wear like a pair of these, right?
No, like if you bend them in half,
Yeah, so you couldn't do
yeah,
that.
no, I couldn't wear something like that. Like I would have to wear like something that
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
really.
right. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I guess it was worth it in the end. You got to wrestle.
It definitely was. And if I had told the surgeon to keep the screws in, I would be regretting it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, yeah, because then you wouldn't have gotten to wrestle. Yeah,
Mhm.
and you're probably not gonna. I mean, look, science changes. So I mean, in 10, 20 years, we'll be fine. There'll be something to counteract whatever they're saying might happen to you. So
Yeah, I mean,
we'll be fine. I remember that question you asked me before about what predator do I think I could take on?
yeah,
Kangaroo is not a predator, but if you start naming predators, I can tell you like yes or no and stuff like that.
coyote,
Yeah, they walk around Manhattan. They know better.
a wolf.
Yeah, because they don't like people. Actually, they're scared of us. Actually,
No, but I'm saying like if you had to, like
yeah, do the Call of
it's
Duty.
coming up to you.
Do the Call of Duty. Snapchat.
Okay.
He say, okay, like I can't do it.
Bro, I don't think so. I don't think I could kill a wolf.
It's a dog. I had a dog. You got dogs. It's a dog.
It's a huge dog.
It's a dog.
It is huge.
Do something to it to confuse it. I spit on
Yeah, and then it's gonna, you.
it.
Um, I say the biggest thing I could probably kill is a coyote, but
We'll keep naming more predators because I don't have like a list in my head of all predators. Like,
a gator, a honey badger.
honey
You ain't
badgers. I
badger.
ain't messing with those.
You
I know
ain't killing
about honey badgers.
badger.
I can kill an alligator. I just need to be really far away and throw something at it.
A Tasmanian devil.
they're crazy too, but I could deal with that.
A python.
Duh. Anybody could kill a snake. You saw Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, 14-foot one.
What? Yeah, he ain't gonna get
Oh,
around me.
once he grabs a hold of you, you're done.
He ain't getting around me. He ain't grabbing a hold of me. And if he does grab a hold of me, I'll just go somewhere sharp and just fall into something sharp, and that's it for him. What's he gonna do? Bite me? Get the anti venom.
I'm not even gonna say bear because you're not. No, no, don't even say it like you're not.
It
What
depends what
about
kind of
maybe a baby bear born
no
2 days ago?
a sun bear.
Dude, those are really dangerous though.
Aren't they nice? Aren't they the nice ones?
I don't think so.
I think I could take the sun bear.
No.
You have to fight it like you're fighting a human. It's gonna stand up, so I just hitting it. You just don't think I could beat a bear. He's probably looking it up.
Yeah, they're shy and reclusive. They usually don't attack unless provoked.
Good. I'm glad you caught on to that. Yeah, so they don't do anything. I'll
Yeah.
tell you one thing I'm scared of, and they're really small. Well, they're not small, but like they're the size of a dinner plate, but like they're small compared to your whole entire body. The big spiders,
Oh,
especially tarantulas. If you show me one of those, I'm gonna go in the other direction. I'm not gonna go back that way.
snakes and spiders are my biggest fears, and heights.
Why do we have so much in common? I'm afraid of heights too.
Oh, I'm terrified.
But then you go on the freaking gorge and do a backflip.
Yeah, because I know I'm safe.
How do you know you're safe
I'll land in the water.
in the water? Yeah, but yeah, I can't even do a backflip. I remember at the Cornell camp,
I
they were
can't.
having us. That's a lie, because I remember at the Cornell camp, we were
I did
doing
front
the
flip.
what you could do a front flip.
Used to.
Yes, sir. At the Cornell camp, they had us doing all the flippy stuff, and then I backed away, and then you were looking at me like, "No, go do it, go do it, try it." I'm like, oh. And then I kind of did it. You were like, "Go do it again, go." I'm like, "Yeah, if you don't get your little blinded ass."
No, I tried to do a backflip one time. At VHW, Volgar had like a gymnastics coach, and her husband was like a Greco Olympian for Russia, and we were doing back handsprings onto a blue mat,
Yeah.
and I completely missed the mat and landed on my head, and that was the last time I ever said I'm doing a backflip or back anything.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh man. And obviously, you can't do front flips or anything like that anymore for obvious reasons.
yeah, no, I can't do anything with my foot. I can't even. I still can't sprint. Like I don't think I'll ever be able to sprint. I
Ever
can't.
again?
Yeah, I can't jump. Really.
Wow.
Yeah. Like my trainer one day said that like halfway through the season he came up to me and was like, "Hey, like, um, I forgot my carbon fiber plate at home one day, and he said that if you could do a full practice without the plate, you can do sprints." And I said, "Okay." So the next day I did the sprints, and my foot hurt after it. And then he came up to me the next day and goes, "Hey, I spoke to your doctor. He said that you should not be sprinting. You can maybe jog for 5 minutes." And I was like, "Are you serious? You just had me do Mondays or Tuesday sprints and I couldn't even do them?" I was pissed. But
Dang. So like, how are you gonna keep your cardio up? Because you still gotta train and be in shape. You don't want to turn like
oh,
50,
obviously
60 and be
not.
out of shape.
I can jog, but
Mm,
like I said, it's not for a long time and before my foot starts hurting. But bike or the rower, the rower is awful though, but I don't know. I'll find stuff. That's the thing. Like, I also have to see where I am and see what equipment is at the facility, like gym or whatever. I join.
yeah,
We'll see.
that really sucks, man. Just
Yeah, I'm
I'll be
about to
looking
go
up.
now though. We had drift lift today, so just get a lift in whenever you want. And I talked to my roommate, and he said
Oh,
4:30.
that's what you meant by drift lift.
Mhm.
That's what you meant by drift lift.
Yeah, you just go whenever you want and get the lift in.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, we said 4:30, but he just pushed it back to 4:45. So
All right, so before I go over, you said you had questions for me before, so
yeah, I know that your plan of getting a wrestling program at CSI didn't go through, and we talked a little bit about it before with the opportunities in the city, but I just would like to hear from your side of how it went down and why it didn't go through.
it first got brought up to me by the tour guide, and he says, "Oh, it's so easy," but like I've been in college long enough, I know how this goes. So I go to the athletic director, and he's new apparently. He's only been here for 6 months. He said he's up for anything. So I'm like, all right. And he said it's good if you could get all the fundraising going and all that. And I'm aware of the what's it called, the NCWA, the National Collegiate Wrestling Association. So that's all the club teams. So like
Hmm.
Penn State's club team, Ohio State's club team, and all that. So I was aware of that. So I'm thinking, all right, I can get a bunch of guys, and then we could fundraise, and I could recruit guys and all that. And with a lot of success there, then after I graduate, then I could make an NCAA team, and I could be an NCAA coach, which would be pretty cool. The school here is D2, but I was thinking, hey, I could go further than that. I'm thinking like if I had that kind of success, but it didn't even get off the ground because I he told me the athletic director to go to the intramural director because that's what it would be. And then he was saying, "Oh, don't waste your time. It's not going to work. There's no guarantee you're going to be able to get all that fundraising each year. The higher ups don't want it. It's been brought up to me before, which it has, and they're just not going to want it. So it's like they're saying insurance, and they're not going to be able to afford to like run it each year, and there's not a guarantee I could get that much funding. I know that's not true because if I set up something and I give it to you, and you're popular with a lot of high level wrestlers and all that, just the amount of Instagram followers you have and stuff, I'm thinking, okay, I know
Yeah,
this
I
guy.
know. It's just all network, and
It's all networking, yeah, but
like
they
they
don't.
just don't know that. And there's,
Exactly,
like I said earlier, they're too scared to take that leap and want to
yeah,
try.
they don't know that exactly. So it's like, that's really what it was. So, I mean, I'm not going to keep on. The one thing I don't want to do is piss them off.
Yeah, no.
So if I didn't go to school here and I was just trying to do it, then that's one thing. But I go to school here. I don't want to piss them off.
Yeah, no. Gotta keep good relationships.
Yeah. But I thanked him for at least considering it. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, time.
I mean, it was just emails. I didn't talk to him face to face, which I didn't like. I would rather, because
Yeah.
face to face conversation is always different. But
Hmm.
eh, I mean but now I see why it's not working. And somebody else, coach in New York City, brought it up to me when I posted that on Instagram. He said wrestling is actually a liability for a lot of the big schools. And I don't see how it is true or not, but I'm not in the school, so I wouldn't know. But he said it's a
Yeah.
liability,
Um,
and he
I
said like you'd have to have a strategic plan for something like this to work because he coaches at Hunter College. He's one of the assistant coaches, so
I mean, I could see how it would be a liability for a new program to be brought in. But like I guess I'm just like it's different coming from a D1 perspective because like you have that support like D2, D3, NAIA and JC double like they don't really there is no support.
yeah, yeah, there really isn't much. At least not in the beginning. You
Yeah.
have to,
And then if you have like a bad few years then you lose support.
yeah. Like Niagara, where I was at. One thing I'll say about them is the wrestling team. They're like the top dogs. They always get like the most funding, the most amount of support and stuff. I will say that about them, but that's because they've been established over many many decades.
Yeah. Do you know how I keep thinking that. So Niagara did this weekend.
What? Say it again.
Do you know how Niagara did this weekend?
Oh, I don't know at all. I have no clue.
I know Nassau won the non-scholarship
Really? What does that mean?
trophy. I guess in like junior college, you can give like some schools can give scholarships, but some like don't give scholarships or something.
Oh, they changed it. Okay, because I know it wasn't like that when we were coming up. Okay, maybe they changed it. That's good though, because not everybody's gonna be able to go to a 4 year school right away.
Yeah,
Maybe it's for athletic reasons or academic reasons or what have you. Not everybody's gonna do that right away.
yeah.
Probably got some more questions on you.
What'd you say?
You probably got some more questions.
Yeah, but I gotta start
All
going.
right. Yeah, you got it out. Yeah. Well, hey, it was great having you on again.
Yes, thank you. We could finish it up at some point too.
Definitely could. Yeah. So, hey, have a good lift and watch
Thank
your
you,
fit.
man. Yeah, thank you. A little hammy now
Yeah, hand me now. Yeah.
after Sasso. Yep. All right, man. It's great talking to you. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Good one.